Three words for a thriving community. I believe one of them would be self-determination. Self-determination to believe in yourself, that to be there for your community, to be there for your neighbor, to be there for your district is one. Inclusion of your neighbor, inclusion of the streets ahead of you, inclusion of the different boroughs or districts that have had. We tend to separate and disconnect, and cities are in grids, communities are in grids. But most importantly, it's very important on how you have to make that as a whole, of being included, of being where you're from. People that are in grids tend to live and stay in those grids. But really, it should be nice and be nice to go and expand, to go and show more of your community, your city, by looking at the boundaries and looking at how beautiful it is as well. When we're stuck in big cities, we tend to live in that grid that everything is sustainable and you can get your groceries in that grid. You can go and pay your bills and you can go shopping in that grid. Not a lot of people move or go to different grids. I think it's very important to go and discover and explore your beautiful community, explore your beautiful city, to show. That is really the true definition of inclusion. Another word for a thriving community, I believe, is self-belonging. To know where you come from, to know your roots. I think it's very important to have pride in that and to know where you're from. When you have pride in that, you have a better tomorrow. I think inclusion would be a great word on how we can involve everybody to have a very successful and thriving city. Back in the 80s and 90s, we had a $1 million deficit on a $4 million budget. Today, 2017 to 2018, our revenue is $67 million. Our unemployment rate back in the 80s and 90s was at 80% unemployed. Today, it's at 80% employment rate. So a lot of our community members are being employed and being involved. One of the initiatives is that we believed into our community. We believed into our neighbors. We believed into our community as a whole, of becoming Membertou. When we say we are Membertou, that is something that we believe. And it's been instilled into our children and their children ahead. And our community is one of our greatest investments. It is probably the greatest investment. When we believe in our kids, our community is a population around 1,500. We have a 95% graduation rate of all our kids that graduate and get grade 12 and go on to post-secondary education. Education is very vital. It's a very useful tool that we use, and we believe in our kids. We believe in our youth, and we believe and we aspire to the dreams, and we support them on what they do. And when you have that pride into a community, that person then comes back to the community and then makes it better for the community as a whole. I think a great initiative in cities is the more green areas, the green parks and everything eco-friendly. I think today's world, realizing of all the pollution that's been going on throughout the world, is everybody's starting to realize that it's a great impact on how we can make cities flourish more by making them more greener. Be an Indigenous person. We are the protectors of Mother Earth. We are the ones of the keepers of Mother Earth, and to make sure that she's sustainable and that she's healthy. So being an Indigenous person, it's very gratifying to see that these cities throughout the world have that aspect in their minds now as well. Being a Mi'kmaq person, we're in 2018. We don't think about the year. We don't think about the present. We're always humbled on thinking of 7 generations ahead. One of the most important treaties that we had was the 1752 treaty. Our ancestors that signed this treaty with the Crown, we're thinking of the 7 generations ahead. So of all the success that the Mi'kmaq Nation and our community has done, Yeah, a little bit is for us, but it's also for the next 7 generations ahead. So as an Indigenous person, we're always looking for, and we're always making sure that our kids' future will be sustainable. So that has been instilled in our DNA, that it's really about our children's children. So in the next 50 years, with the province of Nova Scotia, I see a very bright future.